Hey guys, this is Coach Bricks with RX Health and Fitness, and I'm with my man, the owner here, Dr. Joe Thomas, or Dr. J, as you can see behind me here. So, Dr. Joe, it is good to see you, buddy. It's
Thank
always
you.
a pleasure, man. We go way back, many years, and you guys can look at those stories way back. We put stuff up there. But what I wanted to ask you, I wanted to know why RX Health and Fitness, and how is this different from anything else out there?
Why RX Health and Fitness, and how is this different? Correct there, Dave?
Correct.
Why RX Health and Fitness, especially coming from a physician recommendation standpoint, what I commonly see, especially being a wellness or preventative care provider, when you're talking to your patients often, or people about prevention and preventional care, we're often giving them guidance to go out to a gym, get a health program, maybe get with a wellness coach, speak to someone nutrition, but that's just about it. And other than a pamphlet that we could provide and say, hey, you're on your own. Then you have individuals that try to seek out these opportunities through physical therapy, through trying to get a nutritionist or a referral to a nutritionist, okay. Some that say, hey, I'm ready to go into a wellness program or a gym or get moving, but who, what, where, why, and how, those things. So the RX Health and Fitness, Dave, was physician-guided exercise prescription. But what also makes that different, it's not just a physician guiding that person. It's a physician that's working with somebody like yourself, an exercise physiologist, which many people have no idea or understanding about who and what they do and what they are. But that physician coordinating with that person there together in unison to guide them on that lifestyle change wellness track that is not just for a rehab period. This is for a life change experience, longevity, lifetime. Okay.
And I think you bring that up well, because I think what I've always said about the medical community is that it's disassociated with each other. There's too many parts. People have no idea. I go to this specialist, this guy gives me this medicine, this guy's it. We're bringing it all together, right? Absolutely. Under the house of you. Mm-hmm. And then what's going to happen is, they're going to come down to me, and then we branch it out. But everything's going to be in-house here. So we know how each person reads. So if somebody has a problem and I come up with a program, I can go to you, hey Joe, this person has X, Y, and Z. What do we need to do? Mm-hmm. And we collaborate on it. Mm-hmm. So we're not disassociated. It's not taking us 15 days to get back and figure these things out. We have it all in house here that we know. And this is what healthcare needs to be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're just, I call it not even healthcare anymore, I call it sick care. We're just managing sickness. We want to make it health span. We want your health span, not your lifespan to go on. We want your health span to be long. And that's what this whole thing is, if I'm not mistaken, what you're trying to say, correct?
Very much so. A lot of health and healthcare or healthcare guidance. And I don't even know if it's from an ill intent, but the way a lot are even educated or they go about their training, it's after the fact. You can't get an image on something unless there is a concern. What about things we can do before the fact? Okay, so this is about not only changing lives, but working in true prevention before the fact. Okay, yes, we're working with all individuals. Okay, it's nice, Dave, you've had a phenomenal experience and you still have had tons of experience working with athletes. But what I often encourage about someone in the office, I said, hey, everyone is an athlete. What's your game? My game is to stay home, live at home. My game is to be able to play with my grandkids or travel. Okay, my game is to cut back on medicines. Okay, I don't want to say surgery is the only result or the last result, for myself, but that's the name of the game that we are trying to go ahead and change.
Yeah,
before the fact.
Yeah, and I think that's important for people to understand, is because we want you to be able to live a long, healthy, prosperous life. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the things. And if we can catch these things and help you overcome them before they blow up, mm-hmm. You know what I mean? To something horrible that you need some kind of treatment for, all this other kind of stuff. That's the whole thing. Yeah. And that's why it's so key, because if there is a problem, you and I have dealt with it. I've been in this for 24 years. Mm-hmm. You've been in it. You were one of my athletes way back in the day.
Absolutely.
You've excelled to where you're at right now, doing a phenomenal job with your business. Your practice is blowing up. And it's a great thing. And I think that's one of the keys, is that we're on the same page, talking. constantly. Okay, what about this person? What about Joe Smith over here and this guy? We know what's going on, so we know and catch these things before they get out of control. And I think that's what people need. You know what I mean? Because I think some people get so lost in this medical field because there's so many different things and they're coming from all different angles. We don't want that. And the nice thing about you is that you take that approach is, hey, let's get you down. If you have 5 medications, let's wean you down. See if we can get you down to 1 or none. You know what I mean? Because you know what happens. Let's get you back to that healthy lifestyle so I can pay for, or, I can play with my kids, like you said, or grandkids. But even more importantly, and nobody needs to take care of me that way. How many people do you know that are in their 60s and 70s, somebody else is taking care of them because they can't anymore because of what has happened? I look at my parents. My dad's in his 80s, my mom's in her 80s. Both of them are independent. They do that because they take care of themselves. They do that. They're in their mid 80s and they're still thriving with what they do. Their neighbor, same thing. In his 80s, guess what? Still thriving. And I think that's what we want to get people to do. You know what I mean? We have that background, I think that passion that we want to see people healthy. I think it's God driven because we want to see people live how God needed us to live and continue to push them in that direction and help them. Right? Any last words you have, with this whole RX Health, when are you projecting to start up? When are you projected to rolling and everything getting out there so people have an idea?
Excellent. Dave, as you know, this has been, an idea, believe it or not, think about it truthfully, this has been an idea in fruition back even before I went to medical school. Dave and I have known each other for now almost 35 years. But I remember back when knew the importance of the body, and Dave was already on that path and track. And medicine went in that regard for me, okay? Often would reach back to Dave about, hey, I see those two elements of care for a person coming together. And Dave, we always kept in touch. But then about 2 years ago, we finally, started an actual, brick and mortar by putting equipment in and developing the model, the thought process, what's the mission of something of this sort. So this isn't something that has just been overnight. This is something that is going to entail a lot of quality once people are able to go ahead and get here and see and actually take advantage. A wise person once said, especially when it comes to health, pay now or pay later.
Yep.
You don't have a choice whether you're going to pay now or pay later. Somebody asked, what does that mean? You either do more to take care of yourself, to live a better quality of life, hopefully a longer life, or whatever that longevity is supposed to be with the best quality, or you don't, and you'll end up paying more on the tail end, often not only more financially, but even more. You have people, after they've paid for the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 surgery, even out of pocket, they still don't feel better.
Yep. So
you're still paying. Pay now, pay later. You don't have a choice. But time is still of the essence, so please come join us.
Yeah. So guys, we're ready. We're started up. Here we are in February 2026.
And in February, and as March
Yep.
2026, we are in here full and strong. But as we come on soon, the hallmark of a President's Day weekend coming up soon, we will be in here strong thereafter. So absolutely. So come see us now as we're going into the spring of 2026.
Yes. All right, guys, we'll put all our information, all our contact information, the website, all that stuff at the bottom of the video so you guys can see. Reach out to us. Let's get you rolling. Let's get this body where it's supposed to be. And let's do what God intended us to do, live a long, purposeful, healthy life. All right? Dr. Joe, I appreciate it. You can just call him Dr. J because he likes to deliver just like back in the day, baby. All right? I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, my man.
Excellent.